There is a major 300 million US dollar Bitcoin short liquidation coming up here, and while this is happening, Bitcoin is right now breaking outside of this very important downward sloping trend line. So on today's update video, I'm exactly going to be discussing what we're currently seeing on the imminent short term, what we're going to be expecting is going to be happening on the bigger perspective, and much more will be getting discussed on today's update video. So without any further ado, guys, I will also do a deep dive in towards the Ethereum chart, what I think is likely going to be happening next year, and much more will be getting discussed here. So don't forget to once again slap all that like button back above 1,000 likes. That would be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. So first of all, on the imminent short term, we were looking at a very important downward sloping resist line, which actually got us rejected 3 times in a row and now has clearly broken above of, and that is ultimately, of course, going to be a very bullish signal for Bitcoin. I mean, yeah, it's not a very significant breakout since it's on such a low time frame, but still, this is an important break for Bitcoin. And now, yes, we are seeing an ever so slight continuation. For me, what I want to be seeing next year, if I want to be seeing and calling this a continuation towards the upside, is a break above this line right here, because this line right here is not only the previous high in the market, but also the previous support in the market. So yeah, if we can break above this region right here, then I do think we're going to be likely seeing a bigger continuation for Bitcoin. So that is my thesis on the imminent short term. That is what I think if you're a short-term trader, what are the good things to be looking at right now here. But if I'm looking at the bigger perspective, right now if we're looking at Bitcoin, we can just see on the bigger perspective that here we create a low, and then we create the lower low, and now we're creating a higher low. So ultimately, Bitcoin is creating a lower low, then another lower low, and now a higher low. And the last time I saw this was also back in 2024, and actually that was a very big reversal structure. And yeah, let's see how it's going to be playing this time around here. But the last time we did saw this structure, we actually moved back towards the upside. So for me, what is going to be also important to look at on the higher time frames is of course the new upcoming trend lines, which we are clearly creating right now here, which could be potentially provide a lot of resistance in the upcoming period, but also those horizontal levels which we are currently looking at, because you can clearly see previously around we also got rejected from this high right here, which is just a very important level of resistance. Bitcoin every single time once we did touch this level saw major rejections or of course potentially support. So here also major rejection, and this level is of course laying around 104,000 US dollars, but still I do think that this is going to be one of the most important levels of this entire region. And outside of that, we do have another one coming up here, which is going to be the 99.2k level, which we actually also got rejected from last time we did retest it. So 2 important levels that we're going to be approaching next year. And guys, really, if I'm going to be looking at the market, I do see a major short liquidity piling up above us right now here, and that is ultimately quite a good thing for the market, because usually Bitcoin moves towards the places where the majority of the liquidity is laying, and currently we're seeing that over 300 million US dollars between 106 towards 108,000 US dollars is laying, and that is ultimately a very bullish signal in my opinion. If you're zooming in, you can just see that the most amount of liquidity is laying around this level, and whenever Bitcoin is going to be moving up or down, I do really think that first of all we're going to be squeezing out the liquidity before potentially having another major move towards the downside. So 108 towards 107,000 US dollars is of course also the range high of this entire trend here, and that would ultimately be extremely bullish. But of course, we should also be thinking about a potential catalyst here, because honestly, we have seen, of course, Donald Trump signing for a sovereign wealth fund. If this really is going to be happening, and if he's really going to be putting Bitcoin in there and making a strategic Bitcoin reserve and crypto reserve, it ultimately will be extremely bullish. And also consider the fact, guys, I don't know if you already know it, we've started to see BlackRock buy millions of dollars worth of Ethereum, and also Trump's company World Liberty Finance accumulated over 86,000 Ethereum in the most recent crash year. And actually, if we're going to be looking against the Ethereum compared to Bitcoin pair, in the last 2 days, of course, before we had a major crash, but the last 2 days, it actually has been a little bit stronger than Bitcoin. And of course, it is also due to the fact that it has dropped probably even more, but you also have to see these signs of these large companies right now accumulating these tokens. So I am personally very excited about it, and like I discussed also in yesterday's video, the amount of open interest that currently is getting wiped out is very bullish. So the open interest goes lower, while on the lower time frames, the market bounces quite heavily. Clearly means a lot of people are accumulating Ethereum by spot, and that is ultimately going to be providing a very healthy chart here. So that is a great thing what we're currently seeing here. And of course, if we're looking at Ethereum and its historical performances in bull market years, especially in Q1, it is right now being extremely bad here, and honestly, that is why I'm also so excited about it, since we are seeing, of course, loads amounts of accumulation coming in from Trump and BlackRock. So that is ultimately a very bullish signal. And of course, there are some other charts and signals that are showing us that it is actually quite a great opportunity, which we are currently having on this pair here. So yesterday, we didn't saw a lot of inflows coming in on the spot Bitcoin ETF or on the Ethereum ETF. I mean, Ethereum only saw $18 million, but the Bitcoin one saw only $44 million. So it isn't actually all too bad here for the entire market. But we did saw some slight inflows since yesterday was also a banking holiday, so I think loads of bankers weren't that active, and that is why we didn't saw so much accumulation on that spot Bitcoin ETF, guys. And if you right now want to be buying, selling, or trading cryptocurrencies or trading altcoins, guys, the best place to do so here is definitely going to be on Blofin. Blofin is an exchange where you can trade cryptocurrencies with leverage or just on spot here. And if you right now sign up an account using the highest link below in today's video description, guys, you will be able to get an insane $100,000 deposit bonus. This is literally the last day it's available, so make sure to check it out in the link description of today's video. Further on, guys, I really think this is a very great exchange here, so if you're just in general interested in trading, definitely check it out. Liquidity is great, volume is great, so if you really want to be trading, that is definitely the best place to do so. And like I discussed earlier in the video, really what I'm looking for is somewhat of a catalyst in the market that is really what is going to be putting Bitcoin much higher, just like we had with the Bitcoin ETF approval, because that allowed us to see $30 billion worth of inflows coming in towards the market, and ultimately such things are going to be allowing the market to grow ultimately much higher. So you can see also here on the Bitcoin ETF, we've totally seen already more than $40 billion in cumulative flows here. So $40 billion in buy pressure came ever since the spot Bitcoin ETF got accepted, and ultimately, if we're going to get somewhat of a strategic national reserve, expect even more money is going to be flowing in here due to, of course, people from these institutions wanting to have exposure to Bitcoin, but also due to the fact that the nations are going to be having FOMO to be buying Bitcoin. So that is ultimately the thing that we are looking forward towards. And really, if we're also looking at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, it is just looking very excited in my opinion. You can see major amounts of rejections over here. Then right now seeing this level flip into support. And actually the longer we're going to consolidate around these regions, guys, the more stronger the Bitcoin price is going to be here, because the more accumulation and distribution is currently happening. And yes, that is really what it has always been like. If you go up so quickly, you come down so quickly, right, in a bull market. But this bull market has been completely different. Also last bull market, you come up quickly, you come down also quickly. And now we are coming up quite slowly, seeing consolidation of periods like 9 months of consolidation. Now, once again, if I'm going to be looking at this consolidation phase, how long is it? Already 3 months again here. So consolidation takes long, and ultimately it is a very bullish thing for Bitcoin. And ultimately, we are going to be seeing another bounce higher, since at some point the distribution is going to be over. And at some point, people are tired of actually selling Bitcoin. And that is, of course, really what we're looking for. Then also what we can currently see on the Bitcoin dominance chart, guys, is actually somewhat of a blow off top here. We are seeing that the Bitcoin dominance actually went up quite heavily, and now it's creating a dodgy candle. And that is actually a very bullish signal, because usually those candles tend to be marking the top. And honestly, if we're just going to be looking at the timing, it does really also make a lot of sense here, but we're just going to be waiting and see how it's exactly going to be playing out here. The Bitcoin dominance is, of course, an indication whether altcoin season is going to get started or not. But just like you can see on most other charts here, the risk of buying altcoins is quite low at this point of time here, while the market is sitting so high. And those are basically the best opportunities you're probably going to get here. So I'm very excited. We just got a major liquidation, and usually that tends to be marking great opportunities in the market as well here. And I'm just very excited for what is about to be happening. But just like I said earlier, this is really a point where the risk to reward on altcoins has never been any greater than it has been. But like I said here, in the end of the day, in let's say 6 or 9 months there, it doesn't really matter if you bought last month altcoins, this month, but anyways, you're going to be making money, since the market is probably going to come up here. So I'm very excited for what is about to be happening next year. But anyways, this is it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy it, learn something from it, don't forget to once again slap all that like button, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys back again tomorrow on another update video. Peace out. Goodbye.